Hello and welcome to Ready Set Demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room, and today I am here talking about the trimmer. Yay! I'm just showing the box that it comes in because I don't think I've ever seen anybody actually open the box. Perhaps I've missed those videos, but yes, just comes in a white box there. And I'm also going to show you how to make these cute little tissue boxes, which are a really good way of demonstrating some of the features of the new trimmer. Just to show you, quite often you get boxes that are sealed at both ends, but this one is designed so that it opens up so you can refill it. So that's the idea with this little mini pocket pack tissue box. So let's put these to one side, and I will show you a couple of things about the trimmer, and then we will get started with the making, because I know a lot of people have already done sort of show and tell videos. First thing is, remember to take your plastic off. All the white bits are all protected with the plastic, so remember to take that off before you start. Second thing to know, my little Ready Set Demo. I don't think I can get that on there, but you know who I am. The second thing to know about this trimmer is that you've got a longer measurement here because it goes all the way to 6 1/4 inches. Yay, that is really good. You've also got a wider piece on this side. There is no lock as such, but it sort of auto locks at the top, and you need to kind of pull it up from the top or from the bottom, I'm finding. Depends how hard you've kind of pressed it down. Maybe that will loosen off as we use it, but just something to note. And the track is part of the machine. You don't need to replace the track, so that's good. So I like the fact that we've kept the measurements underneath this plate, so they're not going to wear off like the old one that we used to have. This is much better than that. So we've got a lot of the features that we liked on the one that we had. It hasn't got storage, but the payoff for that is you've got a much lower profile. It's going to be much easier to pop this in a bag. You're going to use less space. And when the side piece comes out, you haven't got a foot that you need to put down on there. It's the profile of it is lower, and the whole thing is a bit lighter. So I actually think that that's a plus. Obviously, very happy we've got our lovely Stampin' Up colours on it with the grey and the logo and so on. So let's have a look at these little tissue boxes, which are super cute, and I'll show you how to make them, because I am planning on doing some after class demonstrations using this project, because I know my ladies will like the project and it will get them to look at the trimmer, and I can talk around some of the features of it. I can show them how to change the blades before we start, change them round so you can have your scoring and your cutting where you expect them to be. So for me, my scoring at the top. If you haven't seen that, I'm sure you all have by now, but if you haven't seen that, let me just this up, see if I can show you. There's a little piece here which is a little wider, and what you do is you just tilt, move and lift. So I'm going in this time, so it goes down, move and down. So it's just like a tilt to lift it, and you're lifting one side and then the other of that blade. So really easy, but equally doesn't feel like it's going to fall out, because you have to do it in those two sections. Okay, right, let's make this little box. We're going to bring the arm out. Another little tip: when I was trying to bring the arm out at first, I thought, why isn't that coming? I was pulling in the wrong place. I was pulling underneath this piece here, which obviously is fixed. So it's just the edge here that you need to pull that out, and then pull that nice and smoothly. Okay, so we'll start off with cutting this piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm cutting at 6 1/4, and straight away this gives me the opportunity to show people that it goes to 6 1/4, yay, and then with hardly any gap before the measurements start again. So before we had quite a significant gap there. So that is much better. Then we're going to turn round and score at 6 3/4. Now, something else to note is this piece here is wider. So before, with 1 inch or 1 1/4 inches, I would always go this way because I would find it easier to cut. But actually this gives you quite a lot of support up at the top when you're butting it up. So although it does there, you can cut narrow pieces up to almost 4 centimeters, 1.5 inches. I would say it's just as easy if you're doing anything 1 or above to cut on or score on the other side. So on the long side, I am going to score at, let's get that down at 1 inch. I'm going to score at 1 inch, at 5 1/4 inches, and at 6 1/4 inches. So back up to that tricky one that would have been difficult on our old trimmer. So that's good to show. Turning it around, we are then going to score at 1 inch again, at 3 inches, at 4 inches, and at 6 inches. Okay, now to cut some designer paper. If you're using 6 by 6, you can get 2 sets of the designer paper out of 1 6 by 6. I'm going to use this pretty one here to do mine today. So I'm going to start off by cutting to 4 inches. Then I'm going to turn and I'm going to cut this time on this side, so that's to 3/4 of an inch. Sorry, yes, cut 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to do 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. And then I want a piece 1 3/4 inches. And don't look at the fact that I might just have cut something in the wrong place there. I love to edit. And there we've got 1 3/4 inches by 4. And then I'm going to take one of these little pieces and actually cut this again. This is going to 1 3/4, 2 pieces at 1 3/4. So there and there. So what we end up with, just to run through that again, is 4 by 1 3/4, 3/4 by 1 3/4, 3/4 by 1 3/4, and then 2 pieces 4 by 3/4. I have actually got a printed sheet. If you would like that, it's not logoed and you can give it out to your customers. You can get 9 on one A4 or US letter sheet. So just if you're already on my newsletter list, you will have got a link to that. If you're not on my Ready Set Demo newsletter list and you would like those measurements, just email me. If you email me at liz.shannon@icloud.com, and I will send you those measurements over for you to use. Right, let's show how to put this together. The first thing I'm going to do is actually put the designer paper on. This is because I don't want to punch the aperture twice, and I'm just putting my Tombow glue around the edges because I'm going to punch in the middle and that will keep the glue out of my punch. Okay, and then I'm going to use the timeless label and just sort of eyeball it. You can measure if you like, but I'm just going to eyeball where the middle of that is. That looks about middle. I'm gonna, while I'm here, just put the other pieces of designer paper on. So we've got the 2 edge pieces. So this is going to be the top. That's an edge. That's the bottom. And this is another edge. And then I'm going to put some designer paper either side here. There you go. And then we're going to do a little bit of cutting. So the first big piece to remove are these little corners here. I'm just going to take that out. A little bit of a shape on there. This is going to be how we seal the box up. So that's coming off there and there. So we've got a little lip there. This piece here is going to be where we can open and refill the box. So I'm going to take a little triangle out of that to make that a little bit easier. And then I'm going to take off all of this, the rest of this 1/2 inch scored piece. So that's coming off all together. Okay. Then what we're going to do is to cut down here. That's our lid. But I am going to give these two pieces on this side a goodly shaping. Just take a little V out and a bit at the end, which will help it close more easily when we're putting this box together. This side just a little V, not anything very much, but just to take a little bit out. There, and there. Okay, and then we can glue this box together. Let's reinforce those score lines first. So first bit of glue along that little tab, that little lip that we've left there, and fold that up. I'll give that a good press down. Then this end is going to be the sealed end, so we're going to pop the glue on the little tabs there, fold it in, and then obviously the final one is the one with the designer paper on. You can decorate afterwards, but I would say you have got to do the front first before you punch, otherwise it's a nuisance because you've got to punch again. Now this is the one that we're going to close, but what I like to do, rather than trim this off, which you could do, I like to glue that and close that down because it gives you a nice stable base there where you're opening and closing. It gives that a little bit more strength. And then this is going to close like so. This is going to come down and close like so. And then you can fill with, let's do that. Let's find some tissues. You can fill with pocket pack tissues and just pop them in. Bring this up and my off camera there and close down. And then there you go. There's your little pocket pack tissue box. Now, as I say, I think they are super cute, and I also think this is a great way to demonstrate the features and benefits of our new trimmer. So by all means, do get in touch with me at liz.shannon@icloud.com or through Ready Set Demo. Use the contact if you would like to have the measurements of these so that you can print those out and give them to your class attendees. I like to do after class demonstrations. It definitely generates more sales, and here we're talking about the designer paper of your choice as well as demonstrating the trimmer. I've got lots of other online classes. If you're interested, just check the classes tab, which is at the top, or if you're watching this on YouTube, go to Ready Set Demo. There's a link down there for classes, and let me know if you've got any questions. Thanks for visiting Ready Set Demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room today.